All right, this is problem number 2 on our GMA practice number 1. And as you can see, this problem, it looks to be a little bit longer. I'm also noticing that it's going to take me 3 steps this time in order to be able to get my answer. So to make sure, because this is a new process for me, that I'm getting everything in, we're going to take our pencil and we're going to write our steps over to the side. GMA. Think of this as your plan for solving. So the first thing that I'm going to be looking for would be my groups. And I happen to see 2 groups in this problem. So you're probably thinking to yourself, well, how do we decide which one we will solve first? So if you remember taking our notes, if we have 2 groups, what we want to do is solve left to right. So I'm going to take my pen or my pencil, and I'm going to underline 10 or 20 minus 10. This is the first piece that I'm going to solve. So when I look at 20 and I think about taking away 10 or removing 10 from that 20, I'm left with 10. So I'm going to rewrite that. Remember, we're not changing the order, we're just solving and dropping. I need to rewrite everything else that is left, and that's super important that we write it correctly and we write it carefully with the correct signs. Most problems I see with 5th graders in 5th grade solving these problems is they're not careful with dropping the number and changing the order. So we can't change the order and we must drop it in the right place. So I didn't use the addition sign, so I'm going to rewrite it. And I didn't use this piece, parentheses, 4 minus 1 parentheses. All right, so I'm back to my plan of action, and I'm looking for more groups, and I still have one. Since I still have one, I'm going to take my pencil, I'm going to underline this piece. This is what I'm going to be solving next. So when I think to myself, what is 4 minus 1? I'm going to think 3, and I'm going to drop that right in this place. Notice I didn't put it at the beginning, I dropped it into place. And then anything that's not underlined, we're going to drop into place, just like that. Okay? So moving into step 2, I don't see any more groups, so I'm going to go ahead and cross that off my list. I don't see any multiplicative actions, so I'm going to cross that off my list. And the last thing to do is to solve by adding our additive actions. So if I have 10 and I add 3, then I'm going to get 13 as my answer. Write that here. And I've just simplified this expression to the answer 13. Also take a minute to notice I did not use any equal signs, and that when we are solving in something called a pizza pie or this V format. That's very important. This is actually setting us up for more complicated math like algebra and maybe some upper level maths that you will be taking, in which you'll be solving and rewriting every time. So we're starting off with our expression, and then we're rewriting and dropping every time.